What up, everybody? I visited Chicago this weekend, so yeah, come with me as I share with you my 2.5 hour journey through one of the best curated spaces known in fashion. And along the way, I'll go ahead and share with you what this fashion house means to me and how it shaped my love for design and fashion. So this is Ralph Lauren. Growing up, like majority of Americans, we didn't have much, but what we lacked, we made up in love, resilience, and style. Making do with what you have has been one of those models for many Americans and also many immigrants in the pursuit of, the quote unquote American dream. And, within that pursuit, there are a few symbols that make or speak to the status in America. But there, to me, is only one that is recognizably known to be, the symbol of America's working class and also America's elite luxury style living and everything in between. So, my family is spelled P-O-L-O. My mother is one of the most, and still is the most fashionable women I've ever seen wear Ralph Lauren head to toe. That to her was, this symbol of success and luxury. And with 3 children, making meager means, she made sure when we did step out, it was always fresh, out the box polo boots, fresh polo attire. Other things like, our clothes would always have to be pressed. Our shoes must be spotless. Shoe strings icy white. And, me being the baby, I was always put on notice, to not get dirty. And, I would still get dirty. But my mom was, the example of, children being an extension of the parent, and would often say she couldn't step out with her kids looking any type of way, while she's dressed to the nines. And that stuck with me, as well as my siblings. And, that was passed down also, to my son and my nephews and niece. They have the same type of mentality. And, it's cool to see that, all 3 of us, still share that same connection and that same saying with my mom. But this was our introduction to self-awareness and the importance of the first impression, and how to present yourself to the world. I believe that speaks highly on who you are as a person, and conveying that through clothing and style was, like I said, unknowingly our first lesson. As a child, the horse and jockey didn't mean much. I just really liked the bright colors of the polo shirts. But as I progressed in age, that same horse and jockey took on a whole new meaning. Whether it was low life or players only live once, no matter the acronym, Ralph Lauren polo was the staple of cool. In Texas, polo, it was the ultimate status symbol. From the iconic polo boots and past classic polo sweaters, this actually was, this period in life was my graduation to the brand names. That's when I actually started paying attention. And that impact carried on from middle school throughout high school, and unknowingly leading me into design school to pursue a career in fashion. As my sense of style grew, my interest in luxury streetwear brands grew by way of sites like Karma Loop, which showcased boutique brands, which in return began to stain that image of contemporary fashion and art. Sort of like if Banksy graffitied the Mona Lisa. While I love the classic looks, street style began to pique my interest, and even through that transition, tradition was always at the forefront, and that tradition to me being Ralph Lauren. Now that I'm an adult and mixing tradition with non-tradition styles, it keeps me in, constant connection with who I am, where I'm from, where I'm going, and, what I strive for, and inspired to be, a teacher, a student, a father, a son, a creator. This is not just an homage to the RL brand, but more or less, paying homage to those who unknowingly and knowingly played a part in my journey into my love for the RL brand, and also influenced by style. People like my mom, Etta. My mother, to be honest, she was a teacher. She began and it cultivated my love, for garments and style. My sister Sakina, who has every single polo color shirt and a vast collection of vintage polo items. My brother Dedrick, aka Pooh, for guiding me to my fresh. If you know, you know. My favorite cousin Jamal, who is arguably, well, I would say unarguably to me, the biggest polo fan out there. When we talking polo, rocking head to toe every day, for weeks, months straight. That's him. Every colored polo hat, So him, his sister, Sharika as well. His mother, Brenda Kellum. I want to send a heartfelt R.I.P. to her. Some of my fondest memories. I was actually seeing her and my mom, dressed in the nines, just dressed down in Ralph Lauren. My cousin Mary, Brahim, Chris, Tony, Rodney, baby Rodney. And I can't forget Raheem, So this is a thank you, for your imprint in shaping who I am as a stylist, a designer, a creator. And so my family is spelled P-O-L-O. So if y'all ever in Chicago, do yourself a favor and grab an espresso tonic, which was by far my favorite drink. You should see it at the end of the video there. But spend some time in the RL store. I think you'll love it. One of my favorite features about it was not just the coffee and the espresso tonic, but the bags. I mean, the men's bags were they had so many of them. And also, they had 2 floors for men. The first and second floor men, third floor women's, and the 4th floor was home. I love to see that there was a vast amount of clothing for men, which you don't usually see. Men, we usually just get our loan section or get our 1 floor, and the rest is for women. That was cool to see. And another thing I liked, even with the kids, majority of, brands, if you go to their locations, kids are, girls and boys are together. That's the kids section. But here, no, the boys had their own and the girls had their own side. So, I thought that was really well thought out. And this is just a beautiful, curated space. If you know, my favorite, line brand out of the up under the RM umbrella is RRL, the Ranch Collection, which was on the 2nd floor. I actually fell in love with the jacket that I showcased, but everything there was, to me, well placed, well, curated. It was just really, I'd say, a party for the eyes. Especially if you're a RL fan. You're a fan of RL, everything is, a surprise, So, like I said, do yourself a favor if you're in the Chicago area and, definitely go to the RL store. Other than that, y'all have a good one.